Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to Rassle Rock with Rick Connor.
What the F was that entire freaking promo about?
Mark Hallbacher.
She's like the James Ellsworth of women.
And Cory Castle.
I look like Paul London and Brian Kendrick mixed.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Rassle Rock. Cory Castle is missing in action. No one knows where he is.
Tell me to get up this early in the morning and he's not even here.
It's about 10 o'clock in the morning. We're doing this because Cory had to work today, and Cory's not here, so we're awake for no reason. But hi, everybody.
14 hours.
Poor Mark.
All I do anymore.
Yeah. But we had an interesting week of wrestling. There's a bunch of stuff going on. We have Shayna Baszler turning face on Monday Night Raw.
Was that face turn, or they're just using her as like the clown in the old Apollo like comedy shows?
I mean, it might be. I don't know. I looked at it.
If someone would start bombing, the music would play, and the clown would come out with a big cane and just pull him off the stage. Just Shayna wrecking everybody. It sucks in the women's division.
Have her out there for everybody. Send her out there for the men's matches that suck too. Why not?
Oh, that'd be amazing. I'm all for it.
Yeah. She just goes down in the middle of some tag match that nobody cares about and just kills everyone. That'd be great. Yeah, man. I'm hoping. I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do with her now that she's finally away from Nia Jax. I'm hearing Nia Jax might be injured.
Okay.
That just came out today. Yeah, I know. It's a big okay. Eva Marie might be injured too, and everybody's like, so.
Who?
Eva Marie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like two people that cause no impact. Oh, sorry, I need to put my feet up.
That's right.
It's just two people make absolutely no impact to the women's division in my mind. I mean, They keep pushing Nia. Nia is a failure on I don't know how many levels. I'm sorry, she is.
Yeah.
And Eva Marie is a failure on even more levels than Nia. The only difference is Eva Marie doesn't hurt people.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just hoping this is a big push for Shayna.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, of course, this means that Charlotte's going to lose the belt again. Or wait, she's on SmackDown now.
Charlotte got drafted to SmackDown, yeah.
Is that how they got her out of not losing to Shayna if they end up pushing Shayna? Maybe
that's how they're doing it. I don't know. I mean, you got to imagine Becky Lynch will be going to Raw now. So they're not going to have two women's champions on the same brand.
Are they going to do the thing the New Day did, which was one of the most...
Just hand over the belts. Oh, you need that? Okay, great. Now Charlotte's a 13-time champion.
Is that how they did it, too? Did they give the New Day another championship when they...
Yeah.
It's literally a week ago. It was Kenny Omega versus Bryan Danielson.
Yeah. I know, right?
And you guys are going to hand belts over to each other.
It's the way this stupid draft works, man.
Adam Cole wrestled Jungle Boy in an amazing match.
Yeah.
And you guys are just going to swap belts.
Swap them over. Like it's nothing.
It's like that meme where the dude's sitting there with the whole house is on fire and he's just sitting at the table.
This is fine. Everything's fine. Yeah, man. WWE needs to get their crap together with these belts, man, because they were doing really well with the champions, and now the draft comes and screws everything up. Everybody loves RK Bro. Everybody loves Big E as the heavyweight champion. Roman Reigns is killing it. But as far as the women's championships go, nobody really cares because they do stuff like this. They just trade them back and forth.
I don't get it either, too. I guess, like you said, Shane is hurt, but, I don't know what they're doing with the women's division anyway.
Yeah.
Now they're going to have, what is it, Crown of the Queen or whatever they're calling it? Whatever they're calling it.
Queen. Something
so
like that.
They wrote Alexa Bliss off television after the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I was working, so I couldn't jump on, but I don't think I missed much except for the main event. And the one women's match was solid. Here it is.
I mean, no. Sorry, that was me.
Oh.
There we go. I was trying to do that.
Oh, I thought he was jumping on.
No, I still haven't heard from him. But Alexa Bliss is out. She's going to have sinus surgery. That's why she wrote her off. They wrote her off television with some weird Alka-Seltzer tablet in the mouth, foaming at the mouth thing. It wasn't good at all, but whatever. She needs she needs sinus surgery. She needs sinus surgery. Get her gone.
Whatever, man. Like it's legit. I mean, if she's having issues or whatever, it's actually what my lady friend does for a living. Is surgeries on that stuff.
Yeah.
So it's gross.
She's
always so proud to show me when I'm like driving somewhere. Hey, look what I did yesterday. It's like I don't want to look at that while I'm driving.
Oh no.
I'm just really confused on the women's division, but I think they're going to end up on Raw pulling a lot of more NXT talent up. So I'm wondering how many girls from the NXT roster are going to jump on there. I mean, they already brought up Austin Theory.
Yeah.
Which that's fine. I never understood when they brought him up the first time and then threw him right back down.
Yeah.
Especially with the prospect of Johnny Gargano, pretty much he's done.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess the way will go away. His wife is pregnant anyway, so I think he's going to disappear from wrestling for a little while and then probably show up on AEW sometime in the fall next year or something like that.
Yeah. They brought up Hit Row as well, which I'm looking forward to. I think they're very entertaining, so I think they're going to do well. Yeah, they're going to do well on SmackDown. A couple other things with the draft. We talked about Big E's officially on Raw now, which we pretty much guessed. Charlotte Flair going to SmackDown. Bianca Belair going to Raw. Drew McIntyre going to SmackDown, which is interesting. New Day staying on SmackDown, so there's no more New Day reunion.
What was that about?
I mean, they just put them together. It's like, hey, let's have a big, they were trying for a ratings draw. They put all three members of the New Day against the Bloodline, and
Yeah, but not only that, they just brought back the Hurt Business in one of the most anticlimactic returns ever, and I thought it was like to give the New Day someone to fight while Big E was fighting Roman, not Roman. Bobby Lashley.
Yeah.
Who, by the way, has been the MVP of WWE for the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
He has been wrestling like a madman.
Yeah.
I thought maybe that's what it was. So does the Hurt Business go away again now that the New Day's no longer on SmackDown? No longer on Raw? That's like that's kind of defeating. Like if that actually happens. Or do they feel like they want to like just have like Big E try to fight off the entire Hurt Business?
Maybe that might happen. I don't know. I can't imagine they're just gonna move them down to SmackDown as well. I can't. It was very anticlimactic, but I was still happy inside. I was like, good, they're back together. Now let's do this right. I didn't care how they did it. I just like, good, they're here. Let's stick with this.
The sad part is to do it right. They probably should have moved the entire Hurt Business to SmackDown.
Yeah,
and had them just show up on a new show, And then you got this other faction that's sitting there, and you can play with the fact that sooner or later they may end up wrestling Bloodline, because both are heel factions right now. You could always tease it, but not do it for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Drew McIntyre had to go to SmackDown.
Yeah.
It was just he's wrestled every major player on Raw. Ever since they given him the sword, he's just like steadily fallen down and like stock with the actual fans.
Yeah.
Hopefully if something happened. The only thing that sucks though is they promoted him to wrestle Big E on Monday, and now you already know who's going to win that match. And it's like, why would you do that? Like,
yeah. I don't know. So, the draft just ruins everything sometimes, man. Like what is it? Who's Big E's wrestling somebody at Crown Jewel, right? Is that already booked? I thought he was wrestling. Was it McIntyre? Maybe, I don't remember. But it's like you have all these matches. It's like, okay, yeah, we know who's going to win now because of all these draft moves, and It's just like the draft lasts for pretty much a month because people move from this show to this show, and people who are already in feuds are still fighting on those brands. Like we have Bianca Belair on Raw now, but she's still going after. I think they have a triple threat match or something for SmackDown, right?
She's warm with Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks.
Yeah.
So what do? Not only that, they do a lot where they trade people and then they trade them back. Like they're already doing that storyline where like Paul Heyman has to go to Raw on Monday night to get the Usos to go back to SmackDown. And then that would be really interesting is if he can't get them to go back to SmackDown. Maybe that's what they're going to do.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay. And then 30 days from now, all of a sudden the Usos are going to show up on SmackDown again because they trade people back.
Yeah.
Once they realize that we put this person on Monday night to refresh, but like it's not really working out. So we'll just trade them back to the other show. It's like what?
Yeah, it doesn't make much sense. I never understood why they do that.
And my biggest thing about the draft too, like they want to be more like the NFL. All right, they're doing this thing where they stand at the podium, and like SmackDown drafts, whatever. All right, in the NFL, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers do not go up there and go, and in the 2021 draft, we draft Tom Brady. He's already on the team.
Yeah.
Stop drafting people that are already on your show to your show.
Well, did you see Sonya Deville? Did you see Sonya Deville in round 4 of the draft? She just gets up there and is like, I'm not reading this one. It's Naomi. Naomi's staying on SmackDown. Why bother? Like even she was like annoyed by this. Like what the hell are you guys doing?
They were doing the storyline because she's like not letting Naomi like wrestle, but she was legit. Like they don't even realize that they're like honestly making fun of themselves without even knowing.
Yeah,
it's like that's how we feel. Why is she being drafted to SmackDown if she's already on SmackDown?
Yeah,
like
it's just a waste. At least they're not doing the Fox robot anymore. You know what I mean?
I missed the square wheel or whatever it was, like the big bucks no whammy the wheel they would have. And then like someone's face would pop up and then they were traded. But it was nobody was ever traded to the same show unless they did something like John Cena was traded as the first draft.
Yeah.
To like SmackDown. And the last trade, because it was like a random draft. So like sometimes like it would end up landing on him again and then he would just stay on the show. That was fine.
Yeah.
It was like there was more random. But it's like we're on SmackDown. We could pick all these wrestlers from Raw. You know what? I'm just going to take Naomi. Wait, but it's like she's already on the
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's been this way since they split the brands again because they had them all back together at one point, and then I forget when that was 2012, 2013. It's like we're going to do another brand split. Why? Just let everybody play with everybody, man. Just get everybody on the same show. It's I don't know, whatever.
I never minded the brand split. I just don't like the way they do the draft now. It just does not. It's not fun. It's not. You're not excited to see it because like half the trades are going to be like I said to the same show they're already wrestling.
Yeah,
it kind of kills like the excitement of watching it, and it's like. And then SmackDown, of course, has their matches. They have your Roman Reigns storyline to keep you going for the show, but draft just wasn't fun. And then I guess for now on, we have to watch Kevin Owens basically just get jobbed out until he leaves.
Yeah,
is that
pretty
Cory?
much?
You just wake up.
That was my mom. Sorry, I didn't have my phone on silent. But I don't know what they're doing with Owens either. Like it might just be that it's like, all right, we're going to make you look like garbage until you're out of here. Like it's petty, and I don't care for that. Kevin Owens is really really good, and he should. I mean, why wouldn't you move him down to NXT at least? If you're not going to use him on the main roster, and if you're just going to job him out, move him down to NXT where he could actually have good matches with these guys that are coming up that need a push.
Or why wouldn't you get your mileage out of a wrestler like him?
Yeah,
you got he's not leaving until January. All right, you got like 3 months left with the guy. Why wouldn't you just do money-making storylines with him, and then have him lose in the end in January, and then he goes away.
Yeah.
So they have this weird thing where it's like, oh, well, you don't want to re-sign? Well, you're going to lose every week, and then nobody's going to care about you. Yeah. And then he's going to show up wherever he shows up, and the crowd's going to lose their minds when he shows up.
Yeah.
It's like this whole like diminishing people's stock before you before they leave you doesn't work anymore. It actually gets the fans more behind them.
Yeah, because they want to see the guy do well because they know how good he is. They're like, oh, good. Now he's in a place where he can do well and they can treat him better. So, yeah, of course the fans are going to be happier about it.
Yeah, so why wouldn't you just get your money's worth out of him and just let him wrestle like a really good storyline all the way up until it's time for him to go?
Yeah.
You know, and then you do like a you have some new bad guy or you have somebody else and they beat the hell out of him, and then that's the last time you ever see him, and then he shows up wherever he shows up.
Yeah,
which is not till April.
Right. Yeah, with all the non-competes and stuff like that, which is dumb anyway. But yeah, Grand Metalik is asking for his release as well.
Good.
Yeah, that's a guy, with a CML and CMLL and AAA and all this other stuff. Like he has he's so good and no one knows it because of the Lucha House Party and things like that. Like if you go back to just the Cruiserweight Classic back in 2016, he was killing it. He made it to the finals and nobody remembers that.
I think he won one of my Who Wins Wrestling.
Yeah,
because of the Cruiserweight, because he was amazing.
Yeah,
I mean, they call him the King of the Ropes for a reason. Like the guy was. And then it's hard to prove it in WWE because you can just tell the last year he's been wrestling. Besides that run where he was doing really well just so they could have him go to what did they do? They did that cruiserweight title tournament again. That mini.
Yeah.
He did that. No, when they put Lucha House Party did the Dusty Rhodes Classic. And all of a sudden,
okay.
All of a sudden, Grand Metalik was winning all these matches and looked like a megastar. And then as soon as they lost in the tournament, they went right back to just jobbing whoever they needed to on Raw.
Yeah,
and it's this guy is so good.
And
who did he wrestle? He wrestled somebody else too. It was maybe Bryan Danielson or somebody. He had a match or AJ Styles or something like that. Yeah. Around that time, and the match was off the chain, and then it's just oh, here you go, buddy. Tag up with your, Lindsay Dorado, who is also probably right now one of the most underrated talents WWE has in the locker room.
Yeah,
and you can lose to I don't know, some new tag team we're gonna try, and then they'll disappear 3 weeks after you.
It's it's the whole. Vince doesn't like tag team thing and then not knowing what to do with a little guy. And just go back to the stuff they did in the Elimination Chamber when they had the tag team Elimination Chamber match. That was great. And just recently they had the whole tag team turmoil match or whatever the hell that was that took up almost an entire episode of Raw. That led to zero things. Nothing happened after that. They were just yeah, we had that, and now it's over, and now we're focused on Big E versus Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, the only reason why they had that tag team tournament is because Vince McMahon didn't show up to Raw. So hey, let's try something different while the old man's out here.
Yeah. So yeah, it's sad, but Grand Metalik, another guy. Even if he goes, I don't know if he will go to Impact or AEW or
I doubt that. I think
NWA or anything like that.
I think he would go back to CMLL or AAA or he may even go to Japan. And will he be a megastar? No, but he'll be one of those dudes who's just he's just gonna have match after match. That's awesome with a bunch of guys and. He can create his own legend down there or in Japan. And,
go back to it. Mascara, what was it? What the hell was his name? Mascara Dorado. I forget what his. I don't want to even call him Indies, but the Lucha name that he had back in CMLL and AAA and all that stuff. Go back to that, man, and finish out your career. As a winner. It sucks.
He said something like WWE was like granting people their releases.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, he asked for it. Why isn't he released? Like, and then, like, who else? And he's one of those guys. You'll see he's probably the first one to actually ask, and then there's probably going to be another chain reaction where another group of guys all leave again, like all ask for the release. I wouldn't doubt if Lindsay asked for it. Did the other one leave? Why am I blanking on his name? He was sitting in the other part of Lucha House Party that was sitting in the back room with his Lucha mask on and a Jeff cap. Or he actually had the hats, and he was like hitting on girls, and I had no idea where that storyline was going, and then he just disappeared one day.
I don't remember that at all.
Hold on, what was his name?
Was it not Lindsay Dorado? Jeez, you just said it. Not Sin Cara. The other one. Yeah, I don't remember. Kalisto. There you go.
Yeah, he was doing this weird thing where he like kept showing up, and he had like a white dress shirt on with like a brimmed hat over top of his luchador mask, and he was like talking to the girls in the back, and he was like, they did this whole thing after he broke up with Lucha House Party, and then it would never went anywhere, and he just disappeared. That's
WWE for you, man. That's they don't have to write a gimmick properly. They just write it. They just stop doing it. They just drop things. Yeah, man. So good luck with Grand Metalik. Hopefully he gets his release and he goes on to better things. Speaking of going on to better things, we know for a fact Lio Rush back in wrestling. He's showing up on AEW. Came out, did a promo on AEW this past week.
Amazing talent. Absolutely amazing talent. The problem is I just don't trust him, man. Is he going to retire 2 weeks from now? Is he going to quit? Like he's a head case and he needs help. Like there's always kinds of issues. Like, he got out of WWE by claiming like all kinds of weird racism and all. And then, then he shows up somewhere else and he doesn't last like a month there. Like he's got to move in Japan. Guy's got issues, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. But if the guy can stick around, he's doing the whole businessman gimmick. Go for it. I think it's a good gimmick. I think he's going to do well. There's a lot of good matches I'd like to see him in AEW. Now that, with Adam Cole, Bryan Danielson, I doubt he's going to be on that level, but
I could see
even Jungle Boy or something.
I could see a light heavyweight title, some form of cruiserweight title coming AEW's way.
Yeah,
and them possibly developing a light heavyweight division, and then I guess bring in people like Lio Rush. You can have put the belt on him or somebody like that. Adam Cole also, because Adam Cole's a little dude. Even though he's absolutely amazing, and he's doing a great job already at AEW. Like the rest of the crew is. That's like the whole new group. Kind of feel bad for Christian now. Christian's kind of like faded into the background. He won the Impact title, lost to Kenny Omega, retired the Impact title.
Yeah.
And then why would you retire the Impact title?
I don't know.
I don't understand the whole Impact AEW relationship. So it's like AEW guys show up on Impact to give like some star power for Impact to give ratings. But why hasn't Moose showed up in AEW?
I don't know.
Could you see a match where it's like Moose versus Miro? Oof. Like, are you kidding me? It's got money written all over it. Like,
yeah.
Why wouldn't you just have Moose show up for like a small program on AEW, build him up even bigger, and then have him go back to Impact and wrestle in Impact? It just keeps seeing like AEW wrestlers go there and win a belt, and then walk around with their title. Like the Good Brothers are on and do nothing in AEW but just walk around with their tag team belts.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, that's right. There's another show called Impact.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I would love to see Moose show up in AEW. And I would love to see more AEW stars in Impact, because that show is kind of dwindling, man. Like it's not. It started to make a comeback, and then all of a sudden, it just kind of faded off, like you said, with Christian and their title, and I don't know what anything was going on with that.
Well, the rumor is Bray Wyatt signed with him.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true yet, and it kind of makes sense because all the big names that dropped on AEW, maybe he doesn't want to be overshadowed by everything going on. Plus, like I said, AEW is they have too many wrestlers now. They have way too many wrestlers. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. Maybe he can do something in Impact. I don't see it happening. I know Braun Strowman just wrestled his first match outside WWE.
Yeah.
And I don't know where Rowan is. But, I mean, they could still try doing something.
Yeah, they could do some kind of reuniting the Wyatt family somewhere. But I don't know. With a brilliant of a mind as Bray Wyatt has, I think wherever he lands, he's gonna do something great. And I think he's gonna try and do something different.
Yeah.
So I don't know what, who knows, but he's a lot like Matt Hardy in that way.
He could also be using Impact to develop a new character that he wants to do.
Yeah,
and maybe to him going to a smaller audience and building the character up the way he thinks it should, and tamping it down before he goes to another major federation. That might be what it is too. We'll see. Hopefully, it brings eyes to Impact. I don't watch it. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, there's a lot of dudes on there. There's a lot of dudes I like that are on Impact. I just don't watch it. I don't have the time. I don't even know where to find it.
I don't know either. I don't know what channel it's on or anything.
And all the wrestling that I watch on YouTube, Impact never shows up on my YouTube streams at all. It's never there.
No. I don't know. I do not know. I wish I had more information. I had no idea what channel that's on. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with Bray Wyatt, or Wyndham Rotunda. I guess we got to call him now. And we'll see.
Couldn't get away with just spelling, like, I don't know, does WWE sue you if you spell your name differently?
They might. Who knows?
I mean, you could probably still go as Bray Wyatt, but he would have to spell it like differently. But I don't know if they would still sue him. They're the worst. They went after Bryan Danielson for the Yes Chance.
Yeah.
So
they asked him politely. So could you not do that?
Well, he's not doing it. The fans are. Like,
yeah.
You can't stop the fans.
No. I mean, it's the thing with intellectual property. Like, if he wanted to, he could totally still do it.
It's his.
They don't. Yeah, it's his. They don't own the word yes. You know, they can't do that. But you know, whatever. It's WWE. They get petty about things sometimes. Speaking of petty bullshit, Goldberg's back. He showed up on Raw. Jesus Christ, can we get the hell away from this guy? Like, I understand the Saudi show's coming up and you want the big stars. You got paid to have big stars on this show. But man, like, the SummerSlam match sucked. The match Goldberg had with Undertaker before that was dangerous as hell. He ruined the Fiend. Like how many times are you going to bring this guy back?
Yeah, I don't know. And then I think what they did is I think that's one of the reasons why Big E won the title. This is no slight on Big E because I love the guy. Mm-hmm. But I think they wanted to take the belt off Bobby because Bobby's going to lose to Goldberg in Saudi Arabia because that's what the Saudi Arabia fans want. And I know if they put the belt back on Goldberg, I think the fans would have just shit all over it. So they would shit all over it. When is that show? It's this week?
Oh, God. Is that this week? I thought that was later in the month. Let me look at that up real quick.
I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know when the show is, but and there's good matches on the show that I want to see. I want to see Brock and Roman, and if you get Goldberg's son involved, I would love to see that little punk get beat down again. That'd be great. Break his leg again or whatever happened. I definitely want to see that show. But
no, you're right. It's October 21st.
21st. Okay.
Yeah, we're looking at. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, it's Brock versus Roman, which I'm really upset about, and a lot of fans are upset about it. And then it's right now it's just Goldberg and Bobby Lashley is the other match. And of course they're going to have the probably that battle royal for the trophy or that belt that they give. Most likely Mansoor or somebody like that will win it. You know, the guy who they barely put on Raw, but they need him for their Saudi market.
Yeah,
which is a shame too because the guy's really talented.
He's incredibly talented.
And so is Mustafa Ali, and they don't do anything well. When I say this stuff, I'm not attacking the wrestlers. I'm attacking WWE for how they market these guys.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, can you go sit in this closet for 6 months? Oh, wait, we're going to Saudi Arabia. And they just like let open the closet. And
dust these guys off. Funny. Yeah. It's a shame. Mansoor is incredibly talented, and they ruined that winning streak that he had. It was something like 49 wins over a couple of years.
Yeah, just for Sheamus to boot him in the face.
Just for a DQ finish, it was really not good. But yeah, Mansoor, I'd love to see that guy on the show. Don't know what they're going to do about the women this year. We got lucky enough to have a women's match on last year's show. They had to be pretty much completely covered head to toe, but we at least got a match.
They'll probably do the same. They'll probably pick Natalia because she already did it. Mm-hmm. And she's like, a super company person. They'll probably have her wrestle somebody there, and they'll have both of them wrestled in full body suits to make sure like nothing's showing. Yeah. And, whatever you're going to do. I mean, whatever, it's their religion. It's, they got to do what they got to do to not offend people over there.
Sure.
I don't know. It's a super inconvenience because when's the next pay-per-view? When's the next WWE pay-per-view?
Besides this one, it's Survivor Series.
So they're just going to skip the rest of October and go right to Survivor Series.
Yep.
Okay, better. But I didn't know if they're going to turn around and do another WWE pay-per-view like a week after Crown Jewel, and then we're like subject to like some kind of like flash feuds that they got to slap together before Survivor Series. Hopefully they just build the Survivor Series. That's it.
Yeah. Hopefully it's not just titles, champion versus champion again. That means nothing. The brand. This is another thing that we hate about the draft is we have brand loyalty to people that just got there. Okay, I'm wearing a blue shirt now, so I guess I'm gonna, I'm gonna defend this title for my brand.
I got traded yesterday. Here's your red shirt. Really? Go Raw.
Go Raw. You should give them just like little pendants, just like little flags to wave. Yay!
Speaking of Raw, AJ Styles did a burning hammer into a Styles clash.
Yeah. Amazing.
Why has this man, I know they're trying to get Omos over.
Yeah.
And I like Omos. I like him as a person. I think he's got I think he still has a huge upside, even though he's sluggish but he's getting better. Why has AJ been treated like a chump for the last 6 months so he can get Omos over? That series, I mean, I know he's wrestled Matt Riddle 9 times, but they never get old. Those guys just kill it every single time. And he just does out of nowhere, does a burning hammer right into a Styles clash and finishes the match. I just sat there in awe. I was just like, what just happened?
Yeah, it was incredible. Well, that actually brings us to our next segment because we shine a spotlight on one guy every single week in this lovely segment called Who Wins Wrestling? Who Wins Wrestling? Blah, 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 blah.
Wow, we actually have music.
Yeah, it's easier to do it that way. I might have to do that for the other 2 sound bites that we play. But Mark, who wins it for you?
I haven't been on a while, and there's only one guy I can go with. It's Bryan Danielson. He's just killing it. I mean, 2 weeks ago or a week ago, he wrestles Kenny Omega, and I think was an overhyped match of the greatest match ever on television type thing. I thought it was great. Great match. Kenny Omega never looked better because I am also not a guy who's a big Kenny Omega fan. Yeah. Then he wrestles Nick. He wrestles Nick Jackson on Friday night. I enjoyed that match better than the other one. The fans are behind him. He's in the top feud in AEW. This guy can do no wrong. Like and now he's using the cattle mutilation again as his finisher, one of his finishers. I just think like right now AEW is just like they as an organization can't do any wrong either, and it's just fun to watch. And yeah, CM Punk's back. He's my favorite wrestler. Blah blah blah. But like I think Bryan Danielson right now has been doing the better job since they got over there.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Bring me back. Where am I? There we go. I really liked the Kenny Omega match. I hated that it ended on disqualification. That kind of like I know our count out rather. That kind of like took it away. It was a perfect match. It was so good, and I just got jaded by all the WWE crap. And
that's what I'm saying. We're so used to the bad finishes on WWE. That count out was actually a really good finish.
Yeah.
The problem is WWE's beating all those finishes into the ground where like now it's like, oh wait, no one won. This sucks.
Yeah. It's just like I wanted to love that match so much, and when that happened, it just like sucked all the air out of me. I'm like, bastards. But still a great match, and Bryan Danielson is killing it. Who wins wrestling for me this week is Keith Lee. He's finally back, and I'm very, very glad about it. He's got the new brand Bearcat. There was apparently some wrestler at some point where he's paying tribute to by calling himself Bearcat. Okay, great, but it's not a terrible name, and as long as they push him properly and use him correctly this time. I think it's going to go well. I don't know if they're going to turn him heel or not. There's a lot of talk about turning Keith Lee heel. I don't think that you need to, because I think he's great by himself. But no matter what he does, myself and a lot of the fans are going to be solidly behind him because we love Keith Lee. But yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
Keith Lee.
I love how, and it's no disrespect to the original Bearcat, but I'm old and I don't remember him.
Yeah. Same.
I think it was like 1950 something or something like that when he won the first. He was the first black man to win a world title, which they magically erased for years until like what you call it. Ron Simmons won the world title, and then I always thought Ron Simmons was the first black man to win the world title. Mm-hmm. So I'm glad they're shining a light on a guy who was forgotten. Yeah. But I love all these wrestling channels that talk like they knew who this guy was.
Right? Yeah. Stop it.
Oh, shut up.
It's like a lot of people are doing that just to be like, oh yeah, he was a champion for the African American community. You had no idea who this person was. Stop it. Just stop it. Nobody did.
I think only Simon Miller was the only one who was honest that he didn't know who the guy was.
Yeah.
And he just said, he's like, yeah, it's apparently some tribute to like a wrestler, like from, and he wasn't like, he was just like, that's kind of cool. But it was just like, the rest of what culture, because they're a bunch of snobby little nerds who are trying to act like they knew who he was. And, of course, Alvarez tried to act like he knew who he was. And it's like, maybe, Dave Meltzer knew, but like, because he's, the ultimate wrestling nerd.
Right.
But, like, just stop. Like I said, it's cool. They want to give him the name. I'm not calling him Bearcat. It's Keith Lee.
It's Keith Lee. Yeah.
On television.
I'm glad he's back. But yeah, it's a nickname. It's whatever. It's Bret the Hitman Hart. You call him Bret Hart all the time. You very rarely call him Hitman. It's the same thing. It's just that tag on the end there. And a lot of fans are like, I don't understand. It's a bear. It's a cat. And it's like, dude. Don't be. It's wrestling.
It's a stupid little animal anyway.
Yeah, just stop it.
Like it's kind of like a Wolverine or something like that.
Yeah, little tiny guy.
Wolverines are nasty animals. I don't know if a Bearcat is.
They're fierce. They're fierce. But yeah, man. They got what? They have creepy eyes.
Yeah. Southeast Asian viverrid. Whatever viverrid is.
I don't know. All right, now I got to look it up. Bearcat images. Wow, they do have creepy eyes. Oh my God.
Yeah.
All right. I got it. See, now I got to actually show this. Hang on a second. This is going to take... Sorry, folks. Seeing behind the scenes here. Let me see if I can get this up on screen. Oh, come on. Stop with the different... All right. Well, now everything's frozen. So... Oh, come on. There we go. This. Sorry, folks. Sorry if you're listening to this on the as a podcast, because I don't have this yet. All right, let me move that there. Sorry. Where are my pictures at?
I was gonna say, don't you have that little board that they sell now that you can like you hit buttons and like things pop up on the screen?
I need to get one of those.
They're expensive. They're like $200.
They are. Yeah, they're very expensive. So as much as I would love one. All right, here we go. Pop up. There. That was a lot for just that. But I mean, look at that thing. Dear God. Of course you're going to call yourself Bearcat. That thing looks insane. That looks like a homeless raccoon that like has been left out in the rain and like drowned in gasoline. Like that's insane looking. Jesus, man. Creepy as hell. Hell yeah, Keith Lee. Take that thing. Be that. If you can be that, be that. Oh, man. Very, very insane. Okay. Well, I think that'll about do it for wrestling, right? That's a good note to go out on, I'd say. Mark, you got anything to plug while we're wrapping up here?
I'm going to go to bed. Nah, I have to go to work.
Damn you, Cory Castle, for waking us up this early and not showing up.
Is he still the No Limit champion?
Cory Castle is, yes. DCW No Limit Champion.
I want to fight him for the No Limit Championship.
There you go. Cory, challenge made. Challenge was laid down,
you're
bro.
You're going to fight my way. You're going to fight right in the middle of a street with a bunch of cars around. There ain't going to be any wrestling. I'm going to beat you down and take your No Limit title. Get up early.
Oh, my God. But yes, DCWProWrestling.com. Check it out. Next show is coming up October 30th. All Hallows Eve, baby. Definitely check that out if you're in the Delaware area. Check out my YouTube channel for more information about that and more matches to come. It's tinyurl.com/YouTube Rick Connor. You may be watching right now. Please subscribe because YouTube is going crazy and subscribing is very important. Subscribe to this channel, Rassle Rock. We're still at 30 subscribers, and we can't change anything with that kind of subscriber count. So please, it's very, very important that we get those subscriber numbers up. And I'm still paying for this podcast, so please make it worth actually doing. I just re-upped RassleRock.com. That's a website that I have to pay a domain membership for. I just re-signed for that. So check out RassleRock.com. That's got all our merchandise on it and our videos on it and everything else. Help me make it actually worthwhile to pay for this crap.
Yeah.
That'll about do it. That'll about do it for this episode of Rassle Rock, man. Thank you guys very much for joining us very early in the morning. Thank you, Mark, for waking up on time. Oh, wait a second. He just texted. Let me see what he said. I totally slept through my alarms. I'm sorry. I'm going to write back. Mark wants to fight you.
Street fight.
There we go.
Street fight. No Limit title.
Street fight. All right, man. That'll be about it for this episode of Rassle Rock. I'm Rick Connor.
Mark Hollacker.
And let's take it out like we always do with Mr. Nick Burton.
It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. Join us again for another episode of Rassle Rock. This has been Jay Davis speaking.